at the Cantech Investment Conference. Neil, thank you so much for sitting down with me. Tell me a little bit more about you and your company.
Yeah, so I'm Neil Sweeney. I'm the founder and CEO of Reklaim, which is a Canadian publicly traded company with the symbol MYID. What we do at Reklaim is we're really allowing consumers to get transparency on their data. So if you're a consumer, you can come to Reklaim today, put in an email address, verify who you say you are. What we'll do is we'll then show you all the data that is currently circulating on the internet on you, allow you to reclaim it, hence the name, into an identity wallet controlled by you, at which point you can then choose to option it directly to a brand, an agency, or a company and receive compensation for its use. So democratizing data for consumers, giving consumers a seat at the table, really trying to change the narrative as to how consumers and their data is actually being used in the world today.
It sounds super interesting. Are there things in 2024 so far that you've accomplished in terms of highlights within the business?
Well, I think, this is an investment conference, so inevitably everybody wants to know, how are you doing? Are you profitable? So on and so forth. So, we're a small company that's profitable, that's continuing to grow, has 80% margin, free cash flow. Those are obviously very important for the audience that's here. I think what is really important for us is that we've seen a lot of changes in this market. The catalyst there being obviously that you have 8 billion people in the world today. Every single one of them has a data profile. Nobody has access to it. You have this $700+ billion data market that has historically been built on collecting data and selling data unbeknownst to consumers, that is really starting to pivot, or is undergoing a pivot, where they are, state privacy law and national privacy law is changing to make it illegal to be selling that data unbeknownst to consumers. And so I think what I'm happy about is we've been very successful in continuing to bring on new Fortune 500 brands, GM, Unilever, UPS, etc. These are real brands using Reklaim data to power their decisions. But I think the overarching theme here is that this notion of privacy and forcing companies to include the consumers is increasingly picking up steam. And we've seen just over the past year that one state in the United States, that being California, changed its privacy laws, and now you have 18. So it's early, it's accelerating, it's exciting for the consumers, and I think that there's tons of growth ahead.
When we look ahead to 2025, and of course, consumers are getting more educated about this topic, how do you see the business evolving?
Well, I think there's a couple of intersecting trends here. I think this idea that, first and foremost, let's try to provide a real service to consumers to give them this transparency on their data and give them a platform where, should they choose to, they can be compensated for it. I think what we've started to realize is that there is a subset of individuals that don't want to sell their data, and that there is a subset of individuals that care more about things like privacy and security and data breaches, etc. Well, inside of Reklaim, as this has been iterating, what we found is that you can reclaim your data into the product, choose to be compensated for it, or choose to be protected. And what that would mean would be, if you were not interested in compensation, you can come into Reklaim, you can sign up for a SaaS-based product which says, with my data now in Reklaim, can you monitor it on the dark web? Can you tell me if it's been breached? Can you tell me if there's phishing things? And then if there is an interaction with your data, the large language model of Reklaim will tell you that, in which then it allows you to interact with it to say, you were discovered in the Ticketmaster data breach. Would you like to change your password? Would you like to look for class actions? Would you like to enroll? Would you like to do a device detection or security report? So we think that the foundation of Reklaim, which we've really built over the last number of years, has created a huge opportunity for us to build these ancillary types of services that also touch on things like privacy and security and identity and verification. And it all really comes from the same concept of, when the data is in your control, you really can, you can kind of offer a bunch of different services. So I'm interested in that. I think that's going to be super exciting for 2025, but it doesn't take away from the core business, just it's important to note, but the core business is growing, and there's these ancillary products that are being added to the mix.
Excellent. Well, listen, thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Thanks a lot for having me.